This one I decided to do and put in two parts, only because after I got done rendering, it was going to be about maybe 45 minutes to 50 minutes long. So I decided to break it down in two videos, one for the build, one for the paint. This is part one, the build. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the support. Batman Hazmat, getting that clear face shield off. Really simple. Put his head in some hot water, and then after that I use a heat gun, but be real careful with that. One side came off really easy, the other side a little more challenging to the right there, but the X-Acto knife worked out pretty well. Here's the tank. Looking at the tank, that's Bane's tank. Well, it's going to be Bane's tank, and there's that one piece there, they're connected. Didn't want to disconnect those. Batman's lower torso and the tank. Here's his arms. The gauntlet, is that right? I don't know if it's right or not. Anyway, the fins on the back of his forearm piece, gauntlet, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, make sure you use a very sharp X-Acto knife or a new blade, because it's extremely soft on the Batman detective. The back of those arms there, cutting those little gauntlets off, or whatever you call them. Take your time, go slow, cut a little way at a time, and maybe take some sandpaper when you're done. So this is my Bane build between Batman Hazmat, Batman Dark Detective. I'll pop in and out. I thank you guys all the time for all the good support and newcomers. I'll pop in and out as the build goes on. Thanks for watching. So here's the part here you got to be a little careful with, because it seems to me every time I try to drill something, it never seems to go well. But anyway, I'm putting the markings where I need to put them for the tank to go and to cut to the back of the jacket. It's just getting your spot, seeing where it's at, putting your marks, and then taking a Dremel tool and actually making the holes for the tank to fit into. Again, which is common sense. I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys that start off small, then go big on the actual hole in the bit or whatever you're using. I just used a snow cone bit on this one, went really small, and like I said, especially when it starts heating up, the McFarlane figures seem to get really, they're soft in the beginning, they're soft anyway, and then they turn to be obvious like any other plastic. As soon as you heat up plastic, it starts to melt. Here's where I was going to go even bigger and decided not to. I just said, well, no, let me back up a little bit. I think I did it again. See, I started here thinking, no, I don't have the balls to do it. So I said, no, I'm not going to do it. It's way too big. Check your dimensions, check everything. You could always fill it with some multi-put or something like that, or two-part, adhesive stuff. But I got lucky on this one. It all went well. I just kept the snow cone bit for the Dremel. But outside of that, just clean it up with the razor blade knife. Keep it clean, keep it going, smooth it out, get the depth that you need, and then keep it going. I'm eyeing this part up. It wasn't too bad. I kind of knew where it was going, and where that jacket connected to the back of the torso of the figure, it kind of was where I needed it to be, luckily. So after I got one hole, where I needed it to be, like right here, the bigger one, I just cleaned it out, and you can see here, I'm going to grab the paint marker again, put it on the back of the tank. I'm eyeing it up here, but I figured, nah, I'm not going to just chance it. So I took the red marker, and I put a dot on the back of the tank where it needed to be, then just pushed it against the jacket, and that showed you where you needed to be with the paint mark you just made from dotting it on the tank. after you got everything where you needed to be, actually this turned out pretty well. I just cut off some excess on the back of the jacket that was from the torso from the figure. But just coming in now, cleaning things up, and then finalizing the top hole. It seemed to work out pretty well. The Dremel tool, the cup snow cone drill seemed to work out really well on this one. And then it was perfect when I got it done. Surprising to me, because usually my luck's not really that good. I usually have to go back and do some refitting and reclay stuff, but here it is all together. It went pretty well. Checking the torso, really happy how the bottom torso worked out with the top torso, because they're two different figures. Right here now, I'm going to start digging into the side of his head like Dr. Frankenstein. I made some marks. I think I measured it before I did this, but as best as could. It's not probably perfect, but I think it's close enough. I'm just making a little round indentation on the side of the head where I want the tubes to go. And then I kind of had a brave move here where I was going to use the bit without even countersinking at all, but I figured the X-Acto knife was enough countersink, and that worked out well too. Luckily this plastic is a fairly decent plastic where it's kind of user-friendly, if you know what I mean, when it comes to drilling or cutting away, or taking apart. About to finalize everything now when it comes to the tubes and the pre-assembly, I guess you could call it more, is what I'm looking for, the word, I guess. Be careful not to try to make the holes too big, but at the same time I wanted to make them snug where I didn't have to force them in there. All I did is use some super glue to hold them in there. And I'm just cleaning it out here, each side of the head, see if it fit with the X-Acto knife. Clean it out some more with the X-Acto knife, see how it fits. And that side fit pretty well. It actually hung by itself. It went in really well. The other side wasn't so much that easy. Well, this wraps up the end of the build. Part 2 will be just about the paint applications and how I did it. If you want to check that out, that'll be in the description below and also be at the end of this video. Thanks for watching again. Until the next one.